So my name is Diane Bolt, B as in boy, O-L-D-T, and I actually have two current job titles, so which will become clearer, I think, during the interview. But I am a civilian federal employee, attorney advisor for the Department of the Air Force, but I am also a reservist for the Air Force, so I am what's called a JAG officer, and I hold the rank of colonel. I work for the Department of Air Force, and most people call us JAGs, whether we wear a uniform or not. But the JAG office kind of functions like, it would be really similar to a city attorney's office. So there's a criminal aspect to it, so criminal cases get prosecuted out of the office, but also lots of other legal issues like labor, employment, ethics, environmental, contracting. So kind of they deal with any legal issue similar to what a small city might run across. So my particular area of law is labor and employment, and then I do government ethics. So the enlisted folks are probably, at this point, maybe like a 60-40 blend of, and this is in the Air Force, maybe 60-40, 70-30 maybe blend of male to female. Females being the minority, of course. And in the officer corps, at least when I joined, which was about 25 years ago, at that point in time, women only held about 15% of officer jobs. And it's been steadily increasing. I don't know what the statistic is now. But the Air Force is kind of a neat model when it comes to employment because, at least as of today, there can be really no discrimination about which job you get depending upon what your gender is. And for the JAGs, it was always kind of interesting because even about the time I joined again, which is about almost 25 years ago, you saw a greater proportion of women being lawyers in the Air Force than you would see officers in the Air Force. So I definitely see it, but I do think, I'll go back to saying that I think, at least within the JAGs, that there tends to be a real push for equality. It's, and I feel like they really do a good job of trying to make it equal. Leave. Well, when I brought this, I was having a problem with the car that I was driving, and I brought it into this like garage. And I looked over, and on the back of the desk area was this pinup photo of a naked woman, which in today's society, I mean, I had never seen that in any job that I had ever worked in before. Back then, 10 years ago, it wasn't all that unheard of, I guess. But I felt like I had to say something because it was inappropriate in a workplace. And so I had to say something to that guy's boss. And although the boss agreed with me and he made him take it down, he still was just pointing out that maybe my American culture didn't understand that people in Europe still don't have a problem with that kind of thing. So it was just kind of an interesting story. And I don't know.
So cultural.
Yes. I don't know if I had been a man, if I would have felt like I had to say something, right? But because I was a woman, I felt like I can't leave this sitting there for some other woman who works here to have to see. Women have like completely broken the glass ceiling, I guess, in the Air Force. And I would say that it's probably not so bad in the Army. From my observation, I don't know the other services all that great, but I think in the Marine Corps, and it's rough. Or to see women in positions you never saw before, like to see a woman who's attained a really high rank as a fighter pilot. So yeah, I mean, I could definitely say in the 20 years that I have been, 25 years that I've been affiliated with the military, I can see a significant improvement. Okay. I think it is heartening that, I mean, I do think the Air Force takes it seriously. One of the significant changes they made just within the last year or two are so women that are on active duty that go on maternity leave, they used to only get 6 weeks of maternity leave, whether they had a cesarean or not. They got 6 weeks, and now they get 12 weeks. They also offer paternity leave, so active duty dads that have kids can actually take 2 weeks when they have kids. So those are like two pretty significant changes that have happened to me, happened in the Air Force, that I think really show that they are trying to be progressive